Hello, so today I wanted to talk about 4 artists you need to know about because the theme I chose was art. So, I am going to talk about Gay, Polera, Sadly Castile, and Man Ray. Starting with Gay. So Gay is an artist from Deauville who lives in Caen, and he has been in the art market for quite some years because he sells tribal. I don't know why I say primitive every time. It's tribal. He sells tribal art, and his interest for tribal art led him to become an artist himself. He's known to be part of the Cobra movement, which is a movement celebrating freedom, the genuine, and experimentations. His canvases are quite unusual because he scraps advertising posters from the street walls, and he makes these posters, these bunches of posters. He makes them his canvases, and he also paints with warm colors, very earthy tones. Look at this, it's so cool. He has a shop, Galerie Totem, Place Jean Letellier in Caen, of course, and he sells tribal art along with his own art, and it's 100% worth a visit, even if you do not intend in buying anything, because he's a very interesting person. Like, you could talk with him for hours, for real. Then let's talk about Polera or Rat. I found him on Instagram, hence this is why I don't know if his artist name is Polera or Rat, because he signs some of his work with Rat, but his Instagram handle is Polera, so I don't know about that old artist name, so we'll say Polera. So we shall. He's a young artist, rather unknown outside his circle, and the few who discovered him by chance. His style reminds me of the Bible. It looks very biblical. He draws creatures, rats, and people with like human-like features. Rat-like features. That's what it means. So yeah, and he mixes media. Like here you can see it's watercolor. This is pastel. Here's some ink pen, and I think this is pencil color. So he loves to mix media. Ugh. I didn't say that. You didn't hear it. He also experimented here. This is bleach on this is bleach on fabric, and this is sculpture. So he's not afraid of experimentation, just like Gay. Then let's talk about Sadly Castile. He's been making art for more years than I've lived, and has experimented with many mediums. But my favorite paintings of his are his Cabane Imaginaire, and he has a shop too in Caen, the Atelier Boutique. I love the Cabane Imaginaire. Because it's so soft, it's so dreamy. There's always a bit of red somewhere. And the sky is very interesting. He put varnish over the painting, and it melted. It got mixed with the paints because the paint wasn't dried all the way up. And it was a mistake at first, but if he thought it was so cool, he did it again, and I'm so glad he did. He also does wire sculptures that are very cool. So, our last man, there's only men. I swear I know women who make art. Anyway, this is Kiki de Montparnasse. A woman. This is Kiki de Montparnasse, and I read her illustrated biography, and Man Ray was in it because they were lovers, and she was his muse. And he took up photography. The photography is what interests me in his work. I think his photographs are so cool. So he first took up photography to photograph his work and also to make a living, because he was just to earn money to pay the bills. But he quickly became a fashion photographer. This is what he did for Harper Bazaar. He also worked for Vogue, and I don't know what those two are from, different magazines. So he was very known and is very talented. But what I love about him is his radiograph. This is the moment he realized that photography could be actually cool. So it was an accident the first time, but then he redid it. And how to make this, those are radiographs. And how to make these, you don't need a camera. You put objects on photosensitive paper, you briefly switch on the light in the dark room, and then you put in developer and mixer like a normal photograph, but you don't need a camera. And he made hundreds of these. And it's just so interesting to think those were made without a camera. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you, and see you at the picnic. Okay, goodbye.